and this is chapter 7 dash tutorial tutorial 3. Okay, tutorial 3. All right, so that's good. And we have the 3 planes of projection, and we're going to click on extrude and placement define. We can click on the front datum plane as the sketching plane. References and orientation is automatically selected, so we're going to just click on sketch and sketch view. Okay, by now these are the steps that we have done it many times, so it's straightforward, and there is no need to show center line or put a center line on the y-axis and x-axis. No need. All right, so what you have to do is create a rectangle on the first quadrant. Okay, start from the origin. Okay, that's the origin. You stretch the rectangle, you give the dimension of 5.5 in here, and then we're going to give a dimension of 140 for the width. Okay, so this is 140, or I'm sorry, this should be 240. Okay, so that's 240. Let me just delete the top one, and we have 240. Okay, great. So I have the measurement of 240, and the height is going to be 5.5. all right, so that's all we need. Okay, nothing else, and we just say okay. And now we're gonna give the thickness of 1500. Okay, 1500. Now this part, you got to pay attention to this part. Okay, all right, so I'm going to reverse. If you look, reverse this arrow, and then hold the middle click or press down the middle click and rotate them, and try to observe this edge here. We have an x-axis and y-axis intersect with this left end, not the right end. Okay, so the arrow is in the direction that we're going to create the thread, okay, for the tire. So everything is good to go, and if you hold this, press the middle click, and you can see how you can pivot, you know, like it's holding it. You can pivot it at this point, and then you can just move it up, move this plate up and down. Okay, the rectangular shape. All right, so the key is to have this reversed. You have to reverse the arrow, and the arrow, instead of being in this direction, is going in that direction. All right, so, and I'm happy, and we just say okay. All right, so now we're going, this is the top datum plane. Okay, that's the top face, and you want to check it. Okay, before you proceed, you click on that. That's the top. All right, so that's good. And if you look at this face here, that's a front face. All right, I can look at, I can check the orientation. I wanted to check the front. Okay, that's a front. All right, so that's a front. And if you want, so make sure, and if you want to make sure that you remember that, or it's easy to see it, you go to view, you go to color. Maybe you're gonna put the red color on the front, and then you say, you know, maybe the maybe yellowish color on the top. Okay, all right, so you know that that's the top face, and that's the front face. All right, okay, let's do this. We go back to model again. We're gonna click on the top surface, and then we say extrude, and then we say sketch view. All right, so you can see that the reference dash line along the x-axis and y-axis, they're representing the edge for this rectangular piece. Okay, and this is the y-axis, or reference dash line is attached to this edge here. All right, for clarity, we can just maybe turn off the shade. Okay, turn off the shade, say no hidden. I'm going to create a rectangle, drop a rectangle somewhere here. Okay, all right, so ready to go. And just before you go to the next step, make sure you just look at the specification, and the height of this rectangle is 25, and maybe the width is 50. Okay, in mechanical drawing, we don't have length, we have the width and we have the height. Okay, that's the height, and I can just say maybe that is 25, no problem. I don't know this distance, just leave it there for time being. do not worry about this weak dimension. It's gonna go away, okay, as we when we complete what we are trying to do on the shape that is given on figure 7-102. Then you see that when we complete that, then we can just we should not have any light blue dimension, or we call it the weak dimension. Okay, great. Now we're going to use a conic. From the conic section, we have 4 from algebra class. We said ellipsis, circle, parabola, hyperbola, and we're going to use the ellipsis. And for this one here, I'm going to use the axis and ellipsis. Okay, I'm just gonna start from somewhere here and stretch it, just an arbitrary distance. Okay, just arbitrary distance, and quickly just trim and the pieces that we don't want, like this one, and then I'm going to use the dimension symbol, click on the curve or click on the ellipse, and then middle click, press the middle button somewhere here. You get the major axis, you say accept, and you enter the dimension for major axis, which is 12.5. okay, I mean the radius, okay, the radius of the major axis, because the major axis is 25. From the center to here is 12.5, and then the minor axis is going to be, again, if I click on the curve and then come here, say minor axis, accept, and enter 5. Okay, now let's do this. Let's give dimension a little, let's delete also this piece and this piece. Now we have this measurement should be 12.5, and definitely this is equal to that. Okay, all right, so perfect. So we have 12.5 plus 12.5, and that's 25, and 12.5 plus 12.5 is 25. The total width is 50. Okay, great. We're gonna do the same thing on the bottom. Okay, same thing on the bottom. Let's just pick the first one here, axis and ends ellipse. So we're gonna start from somewhere here, and I'm gonna stretch it. You just drag it a little bit along the axis, and this time we're going to delete the bottom piece here, and then here and here, and we can we know that if I go to click on the dimension and then come here and say major axis should be 12.5, which is true. Okay, 12.5, and then I'm going to click on the ellipse portion of the ellipse and say minor axis, accept, and we say 5. Okay, we enter 5. All right, so this is good to go. Since you are, most of you from Engineering 151, you are familiar with this language of entering dimension and all that, and make sure that the sketch is fully defined and it has a shade called pink shade, and then we are ready to go. All right, so, and this, see that there's a problem here. There's a 12.6. So that I can do this, I can impose the constraint, say this equal constraint, so that's equal to that, so that will go away. See that? The only way you can get rid of the dimension, or you have to just impose constraint. You cannot delete the weak dimension. You have to remove it by imposing constraint. All right, so this piece is complete now. Okay, that's what we needed. Next, this is a little bit more tedious. Again, it's a tedious work. Make sure you start from this edge and you stretch the rectangle until line up with this line here. Okay, just do not go here, just watch this line here. So this way you know that, to ensure that this will be, you will sit there and it doesn't just fly away. Okay, it does not fly away. So this will be 25 also. Okay, 25, and the distance between this line and this line should be 10. So I'm going to go from here to here is going to be, I'm sorry, 12.5, not 10, 12.5, and we know that between this line and the bottom here should be 10. Okay, I'm going to just, it's going to push everything down. Okay, 10. We're going to push everything down. All right, so we're ready. So I'm going to look at this one here, the ellipsis. Please use for this feature here, this one, use center and axis ellipsis, okay? You're gonna start from the center. The center is here. So you stretch a little bit and then you stretch. So we want to keep the bottom portion here, a quarter of an ellipse. So I will delete that piece, this piece, and now I'm going to give information about major axis and minor axis radius. Okay, all right, so we go click in here and click on this here, and major axis is 12.5. Okay, beautiful. And then I'm going to click on here, and then the minor axis should be 5. Okay, 5. Okay, beautiful. And now that we've completed that, don't worry about erasing this line. We will do that later on as soon as I finish this piece also. Okay, all right, so again, we go to center and axis ellipse, and I'm gonna do the same thing in here. This time I'm gonna keep the top portion, and I'm going to delete. I hope you can see this, okay? I hope it's clear so you can see this. And delete this piece, and I'm gonna impose the dimension in here, and that dimension major axis is 12.5 as well. And then I'm gonna click on the ellipse again and then say minor axis is 5, and it will highlight, so you don't have to worry about what's going on. So you just 5. Okay, now I'm gonna do a little bit of cosmetic work. We are going to remove unwanted pieces, or the lines here, this line there, this line here, this line here, and this is the pink shade. See, this is the light blue dimension. Do not worry, just repeat the dimension. Click on this line and say 15. There we go, everything is there. Now the right side of this, you don't need to create that. We're gonna mirror that. We're gonna practice the mirror. Okay, so I'm gonna create a center line through the center of this here. Okay, I'm going to use this center line as the symmetrical axis. So I'm going to highlight this feature, and then click on mirror, click on the axis. You see the right hand side is created. Okay, all right, so is that cool? So I have the left and the right, and they're all lined up with this. Okay, all right, so I'm happy with that. Let me see if I can delete. Okay, I cannot delete that because it causes all kinds of problem here, so just leave it there. And then let me see if I go to coincident to see coincident. So I want this to coincide with that. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, all right, so we are okay, we are ready to go. Let me turn the shade back on. All right, because it's taking. Okay, so we got this portion of the thread right there, and then we say extrude. We give the amount of extrude 8. Okay, we're gonna give 8. All right, 8. Perfect. So we have that, and we say okay. Now we need to pattern along this length of 1500. So we know that if the book said have a enter 75 and the spacing between the patterns. Okay, 75. So this is highlighted. Okay, this is highlighted. If it's not highlighted, click on the second extrude, and it's highlighted green. And we are going to you click on the pattern while this is highlighted. We're going to click on the pattern, and then we go to dimension. Under dimension, we click on direction. Okay, direction, and then I'm going to click on this front face, and I'm going to reverse the arrow. So oops, no, I'm going to click on this face here. All right, so that's better because we're going in that road. Okay, in that road. Then we can come here. We say this is 20. Okay, we're going to put 20, and this is 75. You enter 75, and you can see that we have that we're trying to pattern that threaded portion of the thread of the tire. So 2075. If you divide 1500 divided by 20, it gives you 75. Okay, 75. So that is what we need, and then click on check. You can see that we can have the pattern of this piece of the thread that we to begin with. We started with this 1, 2, 3, and then now we have completed along this axis here. Okay, great. So this was done. Now we go to creating the, after we created the pattern, and now we go to creating the toroidal bend features. Okay, this is a geometry portion that is tedious. So what I will do is, sometimes you can turn the plane on and you know that this is the front, this is the front datum plane, this is the right datum plane, and this is the top, and this is the top datum plane. Okay, so that's a top, that's a top, or you can just say top right. Okay, turn green. Okay, you see that is right, and then I have front. Okay, that's a front datum plane. So we're gonna go to under engineering. Okay, under engineering tab, and click on the arrow. We're gonna click on toroidal bend, and then under toroidal bend we're gonna choose the references. Okay, the references. Make sure you put a check mark on solid geometry, and then you click on define, and then you want to define what? We're gonna define the choose the geometry coordinate system, so that we're gonna choose the front datum plane. Okay, we're gonna use the front datum plane, and then right we say sketch, and then we say sketch view, and that's what we have. That's a, you remember I said the red is a front view. Okay, that's a front view. For clarity, we're gonna turn off the plane, and that is ready to go. Okay, this is a headache. Okay, some people tell me, oh, I've repeated this so many times, I'm having a hard time creating this toroidal bend, which is the consists of 3 arcs. Okay, consists of 3 arcs. So I'm gonna pick the 3-point arc. So start from somewhere here. Okay, don't start from there. Okay, start from somewhere here, and then you drag it until you hit the intersection. You move it until you see the tangent. You see that? Until you see the tangent. All right, so tangent. All right, and then you say, okay, I have the tangent, and then I have the coincident also. Okay, no problem. We're gonna give this measurement, which is 425. Double click. We say 425, and don't worry about this. Okay, this is the measurement. So we're gonna have another arc. Just try to be patient, and then just approximately. Okay, approximately drop it there, and then give this dimension, which is 22.63. Okay, 22.63. All right, beautiful. So, and then we have one more, and we know that we have one more arc. Okay, that arc, I'm going to just maybe just do this. Okay, just leave it somewhere here. All right, so, and this measurement should be 100. All right, so, and then this is also 100. Oops, it doesn't like it. Okay, it did not like it. I understand. So I'm gonna give a dimension from this point to this point, which should be 100. 100. It's tough to see it. Okay, 135. Okay, 135. Let's see if it's gonna take it. Okay, it took it, and then I know that this is 100. Okay, now it gave us something. This is 22 point, this is 100, this is one. Now we have to give the dimension from this point to here, and that should be 130. Okay, 130. All right, so that is what we are looking for. Okay, this shape, this geometric bunch of curve. Okay, just 425 radius. This one is 22.63, and that's the center point for that. Make sure it's a tangent, tangent, tangent endpoint, and then we have a reference line. That's a entity, okay, coincident point of we call it a coincident point. Okay, see that here, coincident, and this distance is 100. This is 100, 130, 425, 135. Okay, let me just close this, the model tree. So do not really stress out over this. Just to begin with, just create this curve. Okay, make sure it's attached to this end of this front view and to the bottom of this. Okay, even if I turn off the shade, you see that is attached to that point there. Okay, all right, so and it looks good, and I can just say that's 425, 135, 22.63. okay, 22.63. This is 130, this is 100, and this is 100. Now do not forget this. Okay, we're gonna pick coordinate system and position it at that end. Okay, now when you see this angle here, you can easily remove that by imposing the constraint called horizontal or vertical. Okay, if I pick horizontal, I'm going to click on the reference horizontal, that will go away. All right, so that's how we have that. Now I can turn the shade back on. Okay, the shade, then everything is ready to go. We can go to check, and we have that. We go to bend radius, and we select the 360-degree bend. Okay, bend. So you don't worry so much, because you say, oh, I click on 360 degree, the geometry that I've created, those curves disappear. What happened? Just relax, and we're going to click on the front, and then we're gonna click on the back. Okay, the back. Okay, zoom it so you can see. Click on the back. Now you get your half of your tire. Okay, the half is there, and we say check. Okay, check. All right, so beautiful. So I'm going to rotate him a little bit, so we have that, and then I'm gonna put the plane back. I'm gonna bring the plane display back, and we know that all the planes, if your plane is disintegrated, it went to, everywhere on this space, then you did something wrong. Okay, all your solid model should be attached to the plane or principal planes. Principal plane, right datum plane, top datum plane, and the front datum plane. Okay, and there is a front somewhere here. Okay, that's a front datum plane. So what I need to do is to complete the second half of this, we do the mirror. Okay, we use the mirror. So you go to your model tree, click on chapter 7 tutorial 3. Okay, right here on this box here, just click on it. It's gonna highlight this one half of the tire. Now you click on the mirror. Okay, you click on the mirror, and then you click on the right, on a right datum plane. You can see that the second half is completed. Just wait a little bit because of the memory. Okay, so we say okay. Now you have the complete work. Turn off the plane, and now you have a tire. If you have a crack on these threads here, there's a crack on the tire, that means you have a flat tire and your tire is not complete. The rubber, it has a defect or something wrong with it. So this is the complete work that I promised you to go through this to get to the destination, which we have this tire. We can go on a ride. Okay, we can go on a ride. See that here? All right, there we go. And if you wanted to color it to make it look beautiful, you can just go to maybe this here. You say I want control, so I'm gonna go to this side, say this one and this one. All right, so that's nice. And then I'm gonna pick maybe, I don't know, green, I'm gonna go this is green, or maybe if you have a black, you can just make the tire black, which is normally the rubber is black. So just a cosmetic, we want to make it look nice. Okay, all right, so I think I'm